Hi Star Babies, what's up? I hope you guys are doing well. I finally have some time today to film this video. It's been a crazy couple weeks because we are in Tech Week for 2 different shows here in Utah. It's a lot of work and I'm very tired. I also hope that these glasses are not glaring too much. Maybe that's annoying. I kind of want to keep them on though. I feel like if I scooch back, well, okay, hopefully that helped a little bit with the glare. If you like my glasses, they are from Warby Parker, and if you like my shirt, it's from Target. Today's video I am so excited about. I am going to be letting you know how to pick the perfect perfume for your Zodiac sign. If you guys remember, a couple months ago I did a holiday gift guide based on Zodiac signs, and I think it was for Taurus. No, I think it was for Gemini actually. I recommended Scentbird, which is a subscription perfume service, and I hadn't ever worked with them before. I hadn't even used Scentbird on my own, and I was like, this is an amazing service and this would be an amazing gift if only I could try it out. And guess what? A couple months later, Scentbird reached out to me and said they wanted to collaborate on a video. So here I am today, collaborating with Scentbird. As I said, they are a super unique perfume subscription service. So basically it's kind of like those makeup boxes that you get every month, except it's perfume and you can try them out. So if you are indecisive about choosing perfume, you're on the quest to find your statement classic perfume that you will always wear, or if you're just somebody who likes to wear a different scent every month, Scentbird is fantastic. So they come in these little vials like this, and you just twist to pop them up and they spray. Ah, it smells so good. And then when you want to actually, if you forget which one you ordered, you just pull, and here's the vial. And this one is English Laundry Oxford Bleu Parfum. And look how much you get in there. Like, that is longer than my finger. That's 8 milliliters, 0.27 fluid ounces. That will last you a month or even over a month, depending on how much you use it. So look at all these different beautiful colors of the vials they sent me. I love them so much. To sign up for Scentbird, it's $14.95 a month. You can cancel whenever you like, and they ship the fragrance right to your home. Scentbird told me I could pick out 5 perfumes, so I did, and to help me pick mine, I was on the Scentbird website looking at different notes. You can literally narrow down perfume by a single note. For example, my favorite note in perfume is rose. So you can literally click rose and it will filter and show you all perfumes that involve the note rose. I actually went out of my comfort zone though, and I don't think any of these really are rose scents, but it is helpful to know that you can narrow them down like that. So we're gonna go in order. Let's talk about ARIES. I've got my computer right here. I have some notes that I need to reference. ARIES, you guys are on the go, you are gung-ho, you are full force after your dreams, after your things that you aspire and who you aspire to be. You are very potent people. You are very, you know who you are. You're sure of yourself and you like to show that to the world. You're often also athletic, outdoorsy. You just are you have a major lust for life, a zest for life about you that's very, very special. You are never overdressed or stuffy, so fragrances that are like that smell kind of stuffy or very for fancy occasions only, or even like older classic scents, they don't really capture your vibe. Since you're a fire sign, I would go for something spicy or zesty. Like, I would use citrus in my fragrances, or I would look for those notes, and I would also look for pepper, ginger, tobacco, coriander, even suede, warm fragrances. So for ARIES, Scentbird recommends the Malin and Goetz Cannabis perfume, and it is actually a unisex scent, and it's a great way to kind of balance your energies, because often ARIES are kind of this androgynous energy, especially with women. They can tend towards the more tough, traditionally masculine side as far as their spirit goes, and I think wearing a unisex scent is very unique and very strong. As a fellow fire sign, I love unisex scents. I wear a lot of the Tom Ford fragrances that are actually made for men, and I just like them a lot. So if you're an ARIES that is like that, I think Cannabis would be a great scent for you. Plus, you kind of get the shock factor of being able to tell people, like, yeah, I'm wearing a weed-inspired perfume. What about it? My personal recommendation for ARIES would be Cartier Zeste Soleil, or Cartier Zeste Soleil, which is a very summery, light citrusy fragrance, but it still has a sexiness and a warmth and a depth to it. So you're not going to smell like orange juice, you know what I mean? It's very sensual and it melts right into your skin. I have tried it many times. I've had tons of samples of it and I love it. And also Montale Soleil de Capri, which is another one of those kind of summery, zesty, lust for life fragrances. So ARIES, find a perfume that really captures that gung-ho, inspired, fiery energy, and I think you are going to find your perfect perfume. For Taurus, perfume is so important. Almost any video I talk about Taurians, I talk about perfume and fragrance because they are sensual beings, regardless of the, you know, sexy meaning of sensual. I mean, they use their senses. They are so grounded in their senses. They are here on Earth. They're an Earth sign, and what they surround themselves with, what they experience via their senses is very important, and it can really change their atmosphere, it can change their mood, it can change their whole day. So you want to make sure you find the right fragrance as a Taurus. And I understand that that search is long and complicated, and that's why I think Scentbird is great, because like options, man, options. For women, Taurian women are very sensual. They're Venusian women. They are like Aphrodite and just beautiful, silky, sensuous, feminine goddesses. So anything that makes you feel feminine. So it doesn't have to be a floral fragrance. For example, I don't wear a lot of straight floral fragrances because they're kind of heady and they give me a headache. When I want to feel sexy, I go for vanilla. And I think that's a great note for Taurian men and women. It's of the earth and it is a warming, sensual scent. Almost anybody that smells vanilla is instantly, they're like, oh, that's sexy. When you put vanilla in a perfume, it's just sexy body language perfume, and I think that's a great note for men and women. Taurians can kind of wear those date night fragrances all day, any season. They are those that can really rock those very sexy date night fragrances whenever they want. It's just their aura. I think Taurian men and women actually do great with also notes that are from materials of the earth, and materials that you would surround yourself with, that you would even wear. Suede, leather, tobacco, things that are material items. Putting in your fragrance is just unique, it's earthy, it's grounding, and I think it just does very well on Tauruses. Some great notes for Taurians, like I said, would be leather, suede, amber, ylang ylang, black pepper, rose. Rose is very romantic, so if you go towards the more floral, yeah, ylang ylang, rose, even plumeria, just very romantic flowers like that. And otherwise, pepper, amber, sandalwood, vanilla for sure, suede, just earthy, warm. For Taurus women, Scentbird recommends Bijou Romantique by Etat Libre d'Orange, which is a scent that mixes coconut, pink berries, and floral notes. So that sounds absolutely delicious, especially for summer. And for men, they recommend 8 and Bob, the original. It's a spicy and cozy fragrance grounded in ingredients of hazelnut and ginger. Very warm, I told you. My recommendations for Taurians would be Molinard Vanille, which actually I have received, and it is by far my favorite of all of the fragrances they sent me. Just the best vanilla fragrance I've ever smelled. Juliette has a gun. The fragrance name is That, you guys, I almost am reluctant to tell you about because listen, that perfume, it is called for a reason, okay, y'all? That's all I'm gonna say. Try it out. Order it from Scentbird. You're gonna get anybody in the world that you want smelling like that. And also Stella McCartney Stella, which is a very sensual, sexy, rose-based scent. Gemini, you guys are effervescent, bubbly, sparkly, quirky, unique, flirty, sunny, and all about communication. And I think you want a perfume that communicates your personality for you, even days when you are quiet. Yes, Geminis can be quiet. I think you want a perfume that really captures your essence. So because you guys are air signs, I think that you do best with fragrances that are more breezy, summery, on the lighter side, you know, that they're floating up here rather than like heavy fragrances that kind of melt into your skin or just sparkle on the skin rather than something like for example, heavily based in leather or tobacco or oud, that's gonna stay on your skin and smell the same from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's just too heavy for you guys, I think. I think also because you guys are so playful, you can really experiment with ingredients that not a lot of people would have the bravery to rock or people haven't heard of in perfume before. So I would play with fragrances that really play with the nose, like lavender, almond, passion fruit, spearmint, grapefruit, tangerine, just bright and playful and unique notes. So even if you're on Scentbird, you can look through the notes and see if you find something like, oh, like for example, I tried a lavender fragrance for the first time in my life, and it was really interesting. Like, it was really cool to be able to make that selection and have the possibility to try that out. For Gemini women, Scentbird recommends Agent Provocateur Fatale Intense, which is a perfume with pink pepper, black currant, and roses and champaca flower. It is described as a showstopper fragrance. And for men, they recommend Woods and Spices by Montale, which is an ebony and sandalwood blend with incense and vetiver. So, and they describe that as a really reliable go-to, which I think is great for Geminis to just finally find that scent that you're like, when I'm feeling indecisive, I don't know what to wear, I don't know how to do my hair, I don't know how to do my makeup, I don't know, blah, 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 at least I know what perfume I'm gonna wear, one less thing to worry about. That's why, especially for Geminis, I recommend Scentbird, because you guys are indecisive. I get it. There are so many options out there, and you're weighing all these options, and you just have you have so many facets to your personality, and it takes a while to find a fragrance that captures all of that. So seriously guys, try it out. My recommendations would be English Laundry Oxford Bleu pour Femme, which is something that I ordered. It's very, very feminine and sweet, but not in a way that's going to give you a headache. And if you like sweet citrusy scents, it's citrusy, but it doesn't smell like just lemons or cleaning products or anything like that, because I can often find those with citrusy scents. This one is very pineapple heavy for me, and I think it just smells delectable. I think I really like that choice for a citrusy type of fruit. I don't know if pineapple is actually considered a citrus, but I would lump it in there, and I like that it's not like orange or heavy on the lemon. I think pineapple is like such a unique and delicious note in perfume. I would also recommend Remarkable People by Etat Libre d'Orange, which is a perfume with notes of champagne. And I feel like that is so unique, and it's so Gemini. It's sparkly and effervescent and bubbly and airy. So try it out. For Cancer, I love Cancer scents. Cancer fragrances, I always call them mama scents, because my mom used to wear Moonlight Path by Bath & Body Works, and like way back in the 90s, and ever since she wore that, there are certain scents that I smell that I'm like, that's a mama scent. It smells like a mama. Not in an old stuffy way, it just smells like you just want to lay your head in somebody's chest and just feel like everything's okay, and that's Cancer fragrances to me. So I am always on the look for fragrances like that, because I love them. I love fragrances that melt into the skin and fragrances that make you feel at home. So you take a little bit of your home with you, because I am actually a major homebody. Cancers are cozy and warm people that love their home, and they're sweet, but they're not fake. And I think their perfume should reflect that. And they're also very connected to the water. So if you like elements of, you know, aquatic elements in your perfume, that's definitely something to consider, and there's a way to narrow that down on the Scentbird website. I think any fragrances that personally remind you of home, or whatever you consider home to be for you, those are going to be the ones that really feel special to you, that you really want to wear for years. Cancers are also very, very nostalgic people, so anything that helps you recall special memories or helps you tie a memory to a fragrance, those are also great as well. That's another use for Scentbird. For example, if you've got your honeymoon coming up, you can order a fragrance. You don't have to buy a huge bottle and wear it on your honeymoon. And if you really decide, you know what, I really like this is always going to remind me of my honeymoon, you can always buy it later and have that, you know, save it and smell it whenever you need to be transported back to your honeymoon, or back to your trip to Paris, or back to your semester abroad. That's kind of cool. about this, and you can stick it in your bag so you're like always spraying on the moment. What I would recommend for Cancer would be notes like jasmine, tuberose, any white flowers are great for Cancer because they're fresh but they're sweet. They're not sharp. And ambrox, vanilla for sure. That's a very, very cozy scent and very comforting scent. And even a little bit of baby powder if you're into that. I am personally someone who really likes baby powder fragrances or powdery fragrances. So if you are and you're a Cancer, that's why. Makes sense. For Cancer men, Scentbird recommends Acqua di Colonia Pura. It's a kind of citrusy fragrance with jasmine sambac, spicy coriander, and sweet cedar. So it has a great warm, comforting, woodsy kind of base, but there's sweetness to it with the citrus and jasmine, which I love. I love jasmine in men's fragrances. I think it's just so sexy, and I think that with Cancer men you can really pull from the more traditionally feminine kind of notes because you guys are Cancer, you're ruled by the moon. You are very in touch with your feminine side. Whatever your identity is, you are in touch with a feminine side, if you want to call it that. For women, they recommend Estee Lauder Sensuous Nude, which I've tried many times. It's definitely a mama scent. It is just a classic, warm, almost tropical, vacation, sun-soaked, sensual smell, but it's not overly sexy. It's not like, you know, what you would smell on somebody in the club at all. It's like what you would smell at the end of your day after you just packed up all your bags at your cabana and you're gonna head back to your hotel room to get ready for dinner and reapply the perfume. I mean, that was very specific, but that's really what it is for me. Roses, citrus, and black pepper with coconut, jasmine petal, and musk. It is totally sweet and luscious and very, very delicious. I would highly recommend it. My other recommendations for Cancer would be Glossier You because it's warm and still individual, and it's very, very comforting, I think, because of the ambrox. It really smells like skin but better, and I love those fragrances. And also Burberry My Burberry, which is another sweet and lovely but not overpowering fragrance. I think Burberry is also just in general a great brand for Cancers because they just create very, very tasteful fragrances that are cozy. Leos, you guys are the showstoppers. You do not mind being the center of attention. I can speak as a Leo. Life is just a red carpet to you, a stage. It's a movie set, and wearing the right perfume is just another way to set that stage for you, to set the mood. If you wear the right perfume that makes you feel like a total rock star, your whole day is gonna go better. If you need to have a great night out, I guarantee if you're a Leo, you have that perfume that's like, this makes me feel like a movie star. Your perfume can really introduce you before you can, and I think that that's something really special to play with being a Leo because you're not afraid to wear the stronger, more wow, that's interesting type of scents. You really never half-ass anything, so your scents should be the same. They should be sexy, bold, unique for you, exotic, if possible on the more luxurious side because you want to treat yourself, and every time you spray yourself with expensive perfume, you feel like $1,000,000, plus you get to tell people if they ask what kind of expensive perfume you're wearing, if you actually tell them. Because Leos, we are just sun babies, we're summer babies, bringing elements of summer fragrances, whatever that means to you, is great. So you could bring in aquatic elements, like if you like seawater or sea salt in your fragrances. I love white flowers, gardenia, jasmine, plumeria. You could even bring in that kind of sunscreeny smell if you're into that. Coconut, pineapple, other notes to consider are sandalwood, vanilla, orange blossom, neroli. So fragrances that are warm and sexy with a little bit of a sunny, summery element are very, very flattering. For women, Scentbird recommends Nateeva Jamaica, which is a scent with plumeria and vanilla, which just sounds like, that's probably the next one I'm going to order because it just sounds like absolute heaven. And for men, they recommend Comptoir Sud Pacifique Cologne Mood. It has that's a cologne with spices and beach accents, so see, another beachy kind of fragrance, which I think can also just smell So excellent on men. Just those beachy, warm fragrances. It doesn't smell like you're trying too hard. It doesn't give you a headache. It doesn't like, it's not in your face to the point of like, okay, you're making me want to vomit. It's just like, what are you wearing? Let me stick my face in your neck and just breathe it forever. My other recommendations for Leos for the brave would be Montale Chocolate Greedy, which is a chocolate-based fragrance. And if you are an indulgent, luxurious, bold Leo, definitely try it out. And Versace Eros Perfume, which is another fragrance that's very, very bold. So I would personally just wear that on like a really nice night out, like very fancy dinner and dancing. It is very bold and people will certainly smell it on you, but I think if you want to be that center of attention and that bold, walk into a room and people notice you, that's the perfect way to set the scene. And another one is Michael Kors. I've always thought this fragrance was fantastic, and it's great on a wide range of ages. I have been into this fragrance since I was 15, 16 maybe, and I still haven't gotten sick of it every time I smell it. I just think it's very, very sexy. So definitely try out Michael Kors. And those are my recommendations for Leos. For Virgos, you guys kind of like your perfumes like you like your life. Uncomplicated, clean, simple, classic, elegant, just no fuss, and understated, you know what I mean? Not very far from Leo, who needs to kind of scream for attention sometimes. You guys are very like, what you see is what you get, and I am eleganza todo el tiempo, you know what I mean? Like, it also might be very difficult for you to choose your signature scent. Virgos are that sign that will just look their whole life for their signature scent, because having a signature scent is just so Virgo. It's just so classic, and it reminds me of like old movie stars. They would have a signature scent, I feel, and yeah, it's just such a Virgo thing. But you can be very indecisive and a little insecure about making decisions, so that's why Scentbird and being able to try out different fragrances every month and wearing them on you for a whole month, seeing if you get sick of them, is really excellent for Virgos. Virgos need a fragrance that's going to complement their vibe without overpowering them. They are very much the earth god, earth goddess vibe, and something that's too alcoholic, something that smells unnatural, almost like you're like, that was definitely made in a lab, it doesn't vibe with their aura. They're very earthy people. They really, I think of the harvest, a bountiful harvest when I think of Virgos. So using quality ingredients and the more earthy ingredients that you can think of, the better. Notes that I would consider for Virgo would be chamomile, honey, white flowers, butter, even a soapy or kind of clean type of smell. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Even some of those fragrances are great. I'm a Virgo rising, and I've always had at least a couple kind of soapy, clean fragrances in my arsenal, because they just work on me. Personally, I can't do like the clean laundry smell, but I can do more soapy, warm, almost like bathtub, post-bath fragrances. Those I'm very into. Scentbird, for men and women who are Virgos, recommend Amour Jubilation 25 or Jubilation 25. It's a unisex fragrance with 25 notes. It's very intricate, but each note is there for a reason, and I think for some of you Virgos who are very analytical, this is a way to keep your mind working, to keep yourself excited about this perfume. It might smell different on you in different climates, different places, on different clothing. So I think that's a really fun way to keep your brain excited by a fragrance. And because they're all intentionally there, it's gonna be better than some perfume that's just ingredients just thrown in there because, you know, because overcomplicated is not the same as complex. My recommendations for Virgos are EB Floral's Velvet Lavender, which is one of the fragrances that I picked out, and I've never worn a lavender fragrance really. I've definitely, you know, put lavender oil on my temples when I've needed to relax or anything like that, but I've never worn a lavender fragrance. And this one is it's very lovely, it's very clean, it's almost soapy, and it's very elegant, but also unique. There's an element of it that's like, okay, that's expensive perfume, but wait, there's something in there. Like, it's kind of like a double take, but without screaming for attention. Another fragrance is by Carner Barcelona, and that is called TAURUS, which has sweet almond and heliotrope. And another fragrance I would recommend would be Costume National So Nude. Libre. Oh, picking out perfume for Libres is just so wonderful. Because you guys don't need anything freaky, you know what I mean? You just need a balanced, tasteful, non-offensive perfume that is flirtatious without being brash, and it's kind of leaning more towards feminine because of this Venusian Aphrodite influence. Okay, but then again, while I was saying that, I'm realizing not really, because Libras will always have something to contradict. Like, they'll be like, this is too heavy, I can't do something with tobacco, I need a floral. Then you give them a floral and they're like, that's just all flowers, I've got a headache, give me something citrusy. Oh, that smells like lemonade, why would I, you know what I mean? So now I'm realizing, actually, you guys are very indecisive. So Scentbird is a perfect gift for a Libra or for yourself, because you get the option of trying these out, so you don't have to beat yourself up about buying a giant perfume where you're like, I hate this. Libras don't always like to step out of their comfort zone, so I feel like with Scentbird you can try a perfume that's like, oh, this is a lavender perfume, that might be too herbal for me, maybe I won't like it, but I can just try it. It's in a small vial and I can just try it. No harm done, because next month I get another perfume. No big deal. It's all about finding balance in your fragrances. Finding balance between masculine, feminine. When I use those words, I just mean traditionally, whatever that means to you. And finding a balance between classic and elegant and sexy, because you are very flirtatious and romantic people, but you're not offensively so. I think of a New York socialite, just a beautiful New York socialite. She'll never get more beautiful than she is now. She's got not a care in the world, but she's been raised with money. You know, like, think of how Serena van der Woodsen might smell, and that's, to me, your Libra fragrance. Like, expensive class meets fun and flirty, yeah? Notes that I would recommend for Libra would be, all of these notes are very non-offensive. I wouldn't wear anything that, well, obviously irritates your nose, but Libras are not going to go towards the fragrances that, like, a lot of people have either, like, aggressively violent reactions to or they love. They're not, like, fence-sitting. They kind of need fragrances that sit right on the fence. For example, Libras, not all of them would go for a tobacco fragrance or a patchouli fragrance, because a lot of people have issues with patchouli. You get what I'm saying. So I would recommend orchid, moss, vanilla, roses, white flowers, lily of the valley, fragrances that most people just find very appealing. I don't want to say safe. I like to say classic. For Libra women, Scentbird recommends Nest Midnight Fleur, which balances black amber and patchouli with warm jasmine and powdery vanilla orchid. So I guess you can stick patchouli in there if it's balanced by other things that are just classic and nice. But a very strong patchouli-based fragrance, I'm not sure a Libra would really go for. I like that it also has balances of herbal spices and sweet flowers, because I just think that's the best of both worlds. And for men, they recommend Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir for him. There's a unique nutmeg note in that fragrance, which I think is very unique for men. Also, in general, Narciso Rodriguez fragrances are pretty much all unisex. I've owned several of them, and I really think that they just balance masculine and feminine so well. I could literally wear any of the men or women's fragrances and probably get complimented for them. So if you're a Libra and you like very balanced fragrances, check out Narciso Rodriguez's line. My recommendations for Libra would be Cartier Baiser Volé, which is, this sounds weird, but it smells like clean hair. It smells like that really cool girl in like 7th grade who would like take out her ponytail and you could just smell like her clean hair that she probably washed with her mom's expensive shampoo. I don't know how to explain it, but it is absolutely stunning. It's understated, but it's literally intoxicating. And I would also recommend Amouage Honor Woman, which was one of my other fragrances that I got from Scentbird. And that one is just stunning. It's a very white flower based fragrance, and it is definitely for me like a spring summer fragrance. and it's just so elegant and reminds me of like, I feel like Jackie Kennedy would wear it or something like that, just, or like Amal Clooney, just powerful feminine icons. Yeah. Another one I would recommend would be Burberry London, because I really think that one balances masculine and feminine just perfectly. Scorpio. I know a lot of people would probably recommend very dark, intense, sexy fragrances for you, but yeah, you're intense and complex and sexy and you can be dark, but you're also very private people and you don't like to scream for attention and you don't like the world to know your business. So I think you need a fragrance that captures your real energy so that you feel at home wearing it. You don't feel like you're wearing some kind of fragrance costume or, you know, feel out of your comfort zone, but you'll also be able to express a little bit of your dark side without having to verbalize it or even dress like it, because not all Scorpios are like, yeah, I'm freaking dark, you know what I mean? Scorpios are really, really complex in an amazing way, and so I think they can really rock fragrances that are like that. They don't need to have a fragrance that is made up of just one or two notes. They can go the complex route that kind of develops over the day. Like, you know how in Shrek where he's like, you're like an onion, you just keep unraveling the layers. Scorpios are like onions, and I think your perfume should be like an onion. But please do not wear onion perfume. That will not. I would also make sure to have a little aquatic element in there, however you identify and adapt to your energy. But you could like sea salt, ocean water, ocean air, water flowers, anything aquatic. I would try to have an element of that in there. As far as fragrance notes, more specifically, I would go for leather, pepper, frangipani, rose, tobacco, water flowers, maybe a little suede. For Scorpio women, Scentbird recommends La Mia Perla by La Perla, and it is a fragrance with jasmine sambac and soft sandalwood with white pepper and spicy mandarin notes. So it seems like pretty sexy but pretty balanced. There's nothing too offensive in there. They describe it as a protective fragrance, like the enveloping of a pearl. So just imagine, like, you want to feel enveloped, you want to feel protected by your fragrance. It's like a little invisible armor, so I feel like that would be great for Scorpio women. And for men, they recommend Hugo Iced, which features a mint note, which is pretty cool because I think that's a little, it's a much less popular note in fragrance, and it's a way to make a statement without being too obnoxious about it. It's just, you've got something in there that not everybody has, which is very Scorpio, just something a little different in there. And also think about a guarded man. Think about how sexy, as weird as this is, a man who doesn't give it all away is. Like a guarded, kind of icy man. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I like a guy who's a little hard to crack and who's a little icy on the exterior. My recommendations for Scorpio would be Régine des Fleurs Cacti, EB Florals 1947 Dahlia, which has plum, jasmine, and dahlia, which I think is a pretty unique note for florals, actually. And Histoire de Parfum 1899. I won't take forever to say that year in French. It is a fragrance with cinnamon, juniper, and vanilla. Sagittarians, blunt. What you see is what you get. I'm not going to apologize for the way I am. What I like is what I like. I am who I am. This is all very Sagittarius. And also, world travelers, you are daring. You're not afraid to try new things. You're not afraid to be the trendsetter, to be the one who's doing things differently than everybody else. Actually, you like kind of get off on that. Like, yes, I knew them before anyone else, or I've been there before anyone else, or this ingredient is very rare and it's from here and I'm wearing it. That's so Sagittarius. I feel like you love the story. You love the story of anything, but if someone asks you, what are you wearing? You love fragrances that tell a story, that the ingredients come from somewhere unique, or the fragrance captures a vibe of a far-off land. When thinking of Sagittarians for their fragrances, I really think of like a sexy pirate. I mean, not like Captain Jack Sparrow. I mean, like, think about pirates. Think about how many places they sailed, how many different lands they saw, how many spice traders they met, how many markets they would have gone to, and what they would have been wearing. Sagittarians are like the pirates of today, except they're not doing awful things to people, and yeah, but they're travelers. They would definitely be like, they would definitely hide away in like the bottom of a big boat just to be able to visit India for free. You know what I mean? I would choose notes that are considered exotic, that are not from exactly where you're from. Saffron, nutmeg, black tea, green tea, tobacco, coconut, rum, leather. Get the pirate theme, rum. Maybe we are talking about Jack Sparrow, actually. Your perfume should smell like an expensive culmination of the spoils of all your travels. Even if you haven't traveled outside of your state, you can bring a little bit of travel and fantasy to your world. And Scentbird, dude, $14.95, and you can be wearing like a perfume that's several $100s. All I'm saying. For men, Scentbird recommends John Varvatos Dark Rebel, which is, this is so pirate, come on. Tobacco, rum, black leather, and wood. Imagine a man who smells like that. Yes, I will gladly walk the plank. And for women, they recommend Carven L'Absolu, which has tuberose, ylang ylang, iris, patchouli, and mandarin. So it's also famously long-lasting. So I think that's really cool. You can wear it all day, 7 a.m., your flight at JFK, and going out at night in Berlin. You just make it a part of your story. My other recommendations for Sagittarians would be Style de Paris by Catherine Malandrino, Room 1015 Bloma Cult, which has cinnamon, vanilla, lilac, and bergamot, and Montale Dark Purple. Capricorn. I think finding signature fragrances for Capricorn is just so exciting because that's what you guys want. You want something flexible and reliable. Like, a signature fragrance for Capricorn is just everything. It's the missing puzzle piece, because you are those people who have your favorite pair of shoes, your favorite jeans, your classic blouse, your favorite pair of sunglasses. You really get wear out of the things that you use material-wise. You are an earth sign. You are very into quality and loving what you wear and what you use on a day-to-day basis here on earth. So a fragrance that is just reliable for you, that can just be your go-to, that you don't have to think about on the days when you have a really long to-do list, and that can just uplift you a little bit before you go out and conquer the world like you do. It's perfect. You just need help finding it. So at least with Scentbird, you have this possibility to just try them out every month and keep going until you find the right one. No rush, but like, you've got plenty of options, trust me. Nothing overly fussy, nothing overly stuffy, but nothing too brash and sexy. Nothing that smells like you're in a club, and nothing that smells like you are 98 and hosting a tea party. You know what I mean? I would go for notes like vetiver, chamomile, sage, sandalwood, honey, ambrox. You go for a little vanilla. I think earthy, warm scents that really melt into the skin but have long-lasting power are the secret to a Capricorn perfect fragrance. I also think they should have a little bit of breeziness. I don't think you should wear anything too dark, too you know, like too heavy, because you've got a lot to accomplish. You can't have a fragrance that's gonna be making you feel sleepy in any way, or like kind of tired or down on yourself or anything. I think you need something that'll uplift you a little bit. Scentbird actually gave me a suggestion for Capricorn men, which is Tommy Bahama Maritime for Him, which has bergamot, lavender, and clary sage, which I think that's surprisingly like calming and meditative for a fragrance for men, like sage and lavender, and it says it evokes the sea air. I love that. It's gonna help you de-stress a little bit. Just whew. My other suggestions for Capricorn would be Amouage Lilac Love Woman. That's actually one of the perfumes that I had Scentbird send me. It's one of the ones that I chose because I haven't really worn a lilac scent before, and I think if you like scents that are traditionally more mature and classic, if you are into any of the classic, you know, staple fragrances, like, you know, the Chanel fragrances, number 5, if you find those very appealing, I think you should go for Lilac Love Woman. I find it lovely. I even like Shalimar Guerlain. I have a major appreciation for the classics. I think that they're classic for a reason, even though I really think actually we only call them grandma scents because that's the generation that wore them, but they knew quality. That was a generation that knew about the quality of perfume and treated themselves to expensive perfume. So I really don't think it's actually, it doesn't make you smell a certain age. It's just if you have a nose for those fragrances. I think Lilac Love Woman is very elegant, very classy, and smells very expensive. And EB Floral's Virgin Lily of the Valley, that's another great one that is just a unique floral and it's not too overpowering. And Prada Infusion de Tubereuse, which is a tuberose fragrance that is just strong enough. It's got a little bit of a kick to it because Prada fragrances are strong, but it's also tuberose, so it's very feminine. Aquarians, you are super fun to shop for perfume-wise because you are unique. You are definitely not afraid to wear something that nobody else is wearing. You're not afraid to wear something that someone might be like, that doesn't smell good. You're like, okay, that's your opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter. You like to be unconventional. You like to shake things up and discover new things. I would say because you're an air sign, keep it light and airy and fun. I would go for notes like lavender, eucalyptus, tangerine, lime, seawater. Maybe you could mix in a couple white flowers in there to add like a little beachy feel if you're into that. I know of a perfume that I saw once that had Coca-Cola as one of the notes, and I was into it. I'm an Aquarius moon, so if you find a perfume with freaking, I don't know, grandma's marbles as a note, go for it. Try it out because you'll probably love it, and either way you'll have something that will at least shock people, and you like to do that. For Aquarians, Scentbird actually recommended a unisex scent by Etat Libre d'Orange, which is you or someone like you. It's actually designed to be enjoyed as it is without a list of all of the notes and descriptions, and I feel like that's really fun for Aquarians to kind of be like, what do I smell in there? What smelled different on me yesterday, but it smells different on my sweater? What notes? Like picking apart and really having a fragrance that's you, that's your own, that adapts to you, and that is really just very personal. And I think that's the root of Aquarian fragrance, is something that feels personal to you. My recommendations for Aquarians would be Bulgari Acqua Divina, which has sea salt, ginger, and woodsy notes. I honestly love all the Bulgari scents. If you're an Aquarius that likes a little bit more of a classic vibe, check out Bulgari. And Amouage Ciel Woman, which has water lily, violet leaf, and musk. Amouage, all of the fragrances, I am super, super into them. They're very unique. The floral notes that are in them are very apparent. You can really smell the ingredients well, and they last for a very long time. So check out Amouage fragrances, see what notes kind of appeal to you and what fragrances really catch your eye, but highly recommend Amouage. I hadn't tried them before Scentbird, so. Pisces, you guys are dreamy mermaid children. You are mystical, magical, philosophical. I think perfumes that almost evoke a sense of meditation are wonderful for you. Just something that smells magical, almost like you are really anointing yourself. It's part of your magical ritual. I really think Pisces are very magical people, and it doesn't mean meditation as in you have to wear an incense scent, but if there's anything that puts you in a state of tranquility, like a fragrance that smells like the ocean or a fragrance that smells like your grandmother's garden, look for a fragrance that puts you in a state of just magic and wonder. For Pisces, some notes to look at and to consider would be incense, patchouli, absinthe, cannabis, guava, lychee, and sea salt. Yeah, cannabis puts a lot of people in a very meditative state, so you might want to consider that. Scentbird recommends Dolce & Gabbana 18 La Lune, which is actually from a line of their fragrances that are based off of or inspired by tarot cards. And this one is inspired by the moon. It's called La Lune, the moon. I've loved this fragrance for a long time. I remember I first smelled it actually in the airport in Spain when I was coming back from like a study abroad program, and they had all of the fragrances that they had come out with. And there's something really magical about them. It's just, La Lune in particular is very light and airy, but it also is totally a nighttime scent. It's very difficult to explain, but it's very magical. It smells like what the shimmering moon would smell like a moon goddess. Like I'm dead serious. I love the fragrance, and I think it would be great for Pisces because yeah, it just smells like a mermaid basking in the moon. I just think you have to try it, and luckily it's on Scentbird, so you can. I guess the notes are bergamot, wildflowers, and musk. I suppose I could pick those out, but in combination, it's just, I don't know, it's just magical. It smells like moonlight, for sure. For men, Scentbird recommends Third Man Au Contraire, which has notes of blood oranges and Indian cardamom. It's non-traditional and unique because citrus for a men's cologne, for a basis of a men's cologne, is very unconventional and very different. So this is definitely a way to stand out and to be the non-traditional man, which I feel like Pisces men are. They're kind of like the Renaissance man and the non-traditional, you know, not like super macho, I smell like Axe man. My recommendations for Pisces would be Raymond Matt's Majide, Raw Spirit Fragrances Mystic Pearl, which has notes of seawater, jasmine, frangipani, and coconut. So if you like island scents, kind of tropical beachy scents that are fresh and oceanic, this one would be great for you. And Lisa Hoffman French Clary Sage. Cotton, aquatic notes, sandalwood, and sage. Sage is always very meditative to me and very tranquilizing. Sounds weird. It puts you in a tranquil state. Sorry, my memory card was full, but I think that's a wonderful note for Pisces. So those are my recommendations. Big thanks again to Scentbird for partnering with me and sending me these amazing fragrances, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you. Mwah. Bye guys.